Hello, everybody.
Hello and welcome to another vintage match.
Hopefully, this one will be a little more of a brisk journey through the streets of vintage.
I actually think the matches have been pretty good, other than yours.
My match was abysmal. There was no magic played.
No, absolutely none. But Luis was doing some pretty cool things. Obviously, Bob's deck pretty sweet, and that match between David Williams and Steve Menendian, while extremely slowly played, was actually really cool magic. I thought, like I was saying to Randy, I felt like if that match had been played at, let's say, a more normal pace, that we would have come out of that match going like, "Wow, that was actually great!" Like,
Sure.
this deck's cool. You don't see that kind of deck very often. It's not popular. It is a complicated deck. Maybe not quite as long as that match took, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right. Well, at least Rich Shay not playing Stacks or Dredge, so I'm not going to quit the league. If I had to play against
Cool.
Stacks the first 2 weeks, I'd just be off it.
Blah blah blah. Salty Martell.
I mean, I think playing Stacks is it's kind of sad.
Whatever. You already know I'm playing stacks whenever the week I play you.
All right, and you'll get a win.
All right, I'll take it. I'll probably need it.
But here, so far, yeah, Super Andy's playing Oath, Burning Wish Oath, as he always does, but maybe he's mixing it up because he knows that we all know that.
Yeah, it is weird because most of the people. Wow, Randy also on the Folk. Yeah, I expect the people to try to mix it up, especially when we quote unquote know what they play all the time.
But like,
Um,
why not just play sweet decks and have sweet games?
I think that is more likely to happen in future weeks, but people want to throw people off the scent maybe in the first week to think that they're capable of anything and then go back to over reliable to have fun down the stretch.
I do think
Yep.
that is one drawback of this format is that the deck rotation, people can just like do much about micro metagaming, and you're more likely to like it incentivizes people to do that more.
Oh yeah, certainly that's going to happen when we're dealing with a three-person field. So, still no real idea what Rich Shea is on. He's been playing, as we talked about in the last match, a lot of basically Grixis control with Goblin Welder and Mindslaver. That's been the deck that he's talked about this one match online. It doesn't look like that's what he's actually running here, though.
Yeah, looks like a much more normal blue deck.
He might be on something like a.
It's yeah, not enough information. Obviously, there's every deck practically plays Underground Sea, Soul Ring, Mox Emerald at this point. He's probably playing like Tinker, White Steel is my guess if he's playing with Soul Ring.
Right?
You haven't played your match yet, have you?
I have not.
Okay, so we can't. Are you playing what we played earlier today when we played in the queue?
I'm not.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, that was basically just I've never played on this client before, and I wanted to play a deck that involved a lot of clicking to see how much I messed up, and it
Got
was
it.
a game amount. I definitely messed up multiple times because of being distracted by client things. So yeah, it was a bit of a challenge to try to get adjusted to something new while playing a format that's pretty complex. So
Yeah, so he chooses to just to zero the Jace there. She probably has something to interact with those Murph. Oh, maybe not. Huh. I would think there he'd either plus it or he would have a way to protect it. Maybe he has Lightning Bolt in his hand, but it
yeah,
doesn't
he
look like a place.
could easily have ways to protect it. It doesn't seem like he necessarily. I don't think he does, but certainly is a possibility.
I'd be very surprised if the deck playing, Academy, Island, Underground Sea is also playing Lightning Bolt, but
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure what his plan is to try to win this game, or if he's just kind of buried right now. All right, well, increasing this to gotta win next turn. He can actually take down the Jace and deal enough damage that he's presenting a one-turn clock. So
yep.
Lord is pretty good there.
Maybe she knows what's on top of his library.
Right. So yeah, he's going to need to do something big this turn. There's not a lot of things you can do, especially like even if he used to tinker for Lightsteel Colossus, doesn't do anything in the face of all these Island Walkers.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, he's probably dead. Again, I mean,
not a lot of situation needs like a Fire Spout. Cards that aren't played.
Pyroclasm does see play, but doesn't do it enough anymore. If you need that plus like a bolt end of turn, he could just storm out here, but I don't think he's playing storm.
Well, if he had a bolt, he was certainly casting a response to that image, killing the Lord.
Yeah, if he's playing Strip Mine, he definitely isn't playing storm.
Right.
What is he? Something expensive and colorless. It's a lot of mana. He's playing Tezzeret here. Is he like uphealing? What the heck is he doing? That
Sure,
will not do it.
Oh, he has a Strip Mine in play.
Oh, he can shoot on island. Yeah, clever.
That's pretty sweet. All right, so that actually is great.
You know, is Randy going to see that he can strip his island? Probably. I would have actually tapped the island, I think, and left the Mox Ruby up there.
Okay.
Just to make it less noticeable that you can strip the island.
I think they either know you can strip the island or they don't. But
Yeah, that's fair.
whatever, you can try anything.
So Randy, man, it's gonna be hard to get through.
Oh yeah, this is not easy to get. If he attacks, it just loses everything. For 3 mirror tokens. Randy has another fix though, to be able to make his own mirror battle sphere. Randy just in the tank here. I don't think there's a lot of good options. Plus side is that Rich Shay can't play any more islands, but
There's the waste, so you can like waste the strip and try to force. Okay, yeah.
yeah, it doesn't really
force it in.
Taking out the academy. I mean, he could attack and lose all his lords and to keep Rich Shay bottlenecked on mana, which actually is a sweet play if he did have Phantasmal Image to be able to make his own Mirror Battle Spear post combat. To trade for a few tokens and get rid of the Strip Mine and Island, but yeah, obviously if he loses entire board presence, he's dead.
Yeah.
Great spot to be in. He's able to Mystical Tutor, probably getting something like Time Walk.
Yeah.
Not great.
This is his last card in hand. He's probably going to get Ancestral.
Yeah, Ancestral is reasonable.
It is awkward for him that he can never play another blue source. I mean, he can play Mox Sapphire or Lotus, but...
Right, but Randy also can't really get rid of the blue source because he's losing all his creatures, so he can't even like all he's basically killing the Strip Mine, but the island is basically a free reign. Like he can't make a play that will cause him to have to kill the island because he'll lose all his creatures. Like he could theoretically, actually, yeah. If I'm Randy, I think I attack with just one of his creatures. So he's either deals 3 damage or forces the strip.
I like that.
It's certainly something to consider. Whether it's right or not, I don't know.
Well, you have to do something, right? You can't just sit here.
It depends on his list. It is unlikely that you can just sit here.
It's awkward though, if he attacks 1 and he strips the island and blocks it, he can then just play another island, right, at that point? Ooh, I like this.
He can't play another. Yeah, he can't play any blue sources.
Well, if Randy had one fewer
Now
creature, he could.
What's that?
If Randy had attacked with just 1 and he stripped the blue source and blocked it, he then can play another blue source because there's only going to be 4 power on the board.
Well, he could attack with Curse Catcher.
Or 5 power on the board. Sure. So there's 6 power on the board. He's at 9. I mean, he's still. The point is, he's not going to be representing lethal anymore.
Well, if you attack with just Curse Catcher and he chooses to strip mine and kill it, you can play any creature in your deck and it's lethal. Like he has a second main.
Sure. I mean, if you think he has a creature here,
tough spot, and you can't.
There's no way he's sandbagging a creature.
What's that?
There's no way Randy's sandbagging a creature here, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
they
I
have
agree
their
that he
guy.
didn't have an advantage, but I'm saying it's not just a free block because now you're only facing 6. Because you could be facing 9 anyway.
Sure.
I mean, you're a favorite to be.
I mean, Randy's gonna have to jump here. Or he dies on the.
Well, he could just kill Mir Battlesphere and lose his board. That is the plus side of not attacking, is that you can block and kill it. Of course, you lose everything, but
I mean, he has to. What else is he gonna do?
yeah, you can't really jump it. I mean, that I thought that was the other interesting side of whether you attack with the curse catcher and see
Sure.
what happens, or whether you lead back to triple block. I mean, obviously, no idea what Randy's last 2 cards are. So expect to see Randy triple block. No cards in hand, so not that there's much that would do anything anyway. And if he has anything, you're really dead. So.
But now also it's obvious. I mean, now we get to strip one of those islands. I mean, I think this is the right play, but I mean, Randy's basically
Randy's
dead.
in horrible shape. Thought this game was over, but turns out Mir Battlesphere just completely swung. He needed to have exactly, I think, Mir Battlesphere and exactly Strip Mine, but he did.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is
there's
actually a
a
sweet
lot
game.
to even think of.
Definitely a sweet game. And they're all gonna die. And I assume we'll see an island stripped here.
Yeah, I would definitely imagine that to be the case.
Strip mine seems like a non-standard choice in these kind of decks.
Yeah, actually, if this is this looks very similar to at least the decks that he's been playing, the Goblin Welder decks. I mean, Mir Battlesphere certainly would appear that to be the case. At least maybe it's not. But yeah, he actually talked about how he has 1 strip mine because he has enough tutor effects, and because it is so important in matchups where he just really can't beat things like a library, and actually has struggles against things like Cavern of Souls. And so he plays 1 strip mine with Vant Tutor and Demonic Tutor and the like. Because yeah, that choice I believe has been criticized by quite a few people who don't think strip mine makes sense in this kind of deck. So there's the Mind Slayer.
Interesting. Kind of odd collection of cards. But enough to get the win.
Oh yeah.
And we've seen Fish now. I mean, it lost to Doomsday deck it's probably supposed to be beating. And here losing to another blue deck. I mean, these are the decks why. This is why Fish is in the metagame, right? Is to prey on these decks.
And to be fair, looks like Randy was acting easy. Like, and if he doesn't have exactly strip mine, which also Randy had to use multiple, like I guess just 1 because one of the wastelands was on Academy. But if he didn't waste that Underground Sea, there may have been no way for Rich Shade to actually win that game.
Right. Yep.
Like, it was going to be real hard for him to present, any kind of threats fast enough, even with that extra mana that, that may have actually cost him the game.
That is true.
So, I mean, even though, some powerful things happen in that game, a lot of little decisions may have, contributed greatly to it playing out the way it did.
Waiting here for game 2 to get underway. So I guess yours the last deck I'm not aware of. I know what Raptor's playing. But I wonder what you're up to.
Do you? It was exciting. Building up the suspense. You think I have a good matchup against Raptor? In the
I have
dark?
no idea. In the dark, no.
It's brutal.
Raptor's one of the greatest deck builders of our generation.
So am I.
Yeah, fair. Fair.
We work very well together, actually. I'll have to team up with Raptor for future rounds. All right. I'm excited for some game 2 action. Merfolk being on the play is definitely an advantage to have.
Yeah, that's big. Trying to join here. Yeah, I don't see a game at all. Yeah, I'm just getting some weird, like, sideboardy looking screen. But let me see if I can get Magic Online to behave itself. Hold on. I'm gonna try restarting Magic Online.
Well, turn 1 Lotus is always good, I'm pretty sure. Bakula claiming he's the only deck so far to not run the Black Lotus.
I mean, I hope he's on the deck.
You're spoiling that Raptor's not on Lotus-less shops.
No, Raptor understands how to build Magic decks. I can't imagine he's not playing with the best card in the format.
You think Black Lotus is the best card in this format?
Most likely.
Oh, there's the Welder. So exactly what I think everyone playing this tournament expected.
I'll be honest, I was not expecting this. I've never seen him play a deck and had no idea what he's playing.
Well, if you check any of the vintage daily results, he's played in every single one of them. And on the Magic Online newsletter, according to Randy, they did a little piece on him, which I did not check out.
Yeah, I didn't know what his screen name was, so I would not have known it was him.
Yeah, I didn't know it was him either until I actually saw it in like a forum, just Googling something, trying to find vintage decks, see if there's any sweet ideas, and saw him talking about the deck. And then I'm like, oh, I've seen that name so much on Magic Online on all the daily results. And this deck also running 4 copies of Knight's Whisper, which not a common choice. Doesn't see a lot of play in any format.
Weird. I'm trying to find the list now.
Overall, pretty powerful against the Welder deck.
Isn't it in any of the tournaments I'm looking at, but maybe it's older results.
Should only be within the past few days. LSP on record saying Dak Vaden absolutely not a vintage playable card, despite being the greatest thief in the multiverse.
I'm seeing a lot of actually recently in Moto lists. It's been getting popular. I don't know if there's been a lot of stacks. There used to be a ton of stacks.
Yeah, card is apparently very powerful there, although I've never played with or against stacks or with or against Dak Vaden, so. Looks Ruby, not super powerful against Rod, but of course Welder in play, so.
He needs to find himself like a thirst for knowledge here and discard
Yeah, a lot of his lists actually in the early going when I was looking at them didn't have Thirst for Knowledge, which I thought was a large part of the reason why people played these decks. Thirst for Knowledge seeming extremely strong, but I think the more recent versions did have Thirst for Knowledge. So
I really wanted to play Dredge, but Raptor told me I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, I thought that there was some chance that just like 4 people would play Dredge or something. Or I actually thought that several people would likely play stacks, and there was no chance Bakula was one of them.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. Then he was playing stacks.
So,
I mean,
literally,
the fact that I won game one, though, is a miracle. I just have no. I guess he conceded a game that I was losing, but it's pretty great. This game not looking so great for the Merfolk deck. You either figure that with enough time, Rich is going to find a way to win the game. Oh wow, that is brutal.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that, the presence of the card Fire, which is probably a one of, I feel like Randy was actually in decent shape. No Rod's powerful. If he draws a land, he can probably play a Lord. Then he's attacking with Island Walk damage and in really good shape. But
I mean, Randy missed his land drop though.
no, I'm saying like I didn't feel like Randy was in bad shape in the game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Certainly nothing like he wasn't doing anything productive, but I do feel like if he still just draws a land this turn, has a couple Lords in his hand, that he is pretty favored. The Welder deck needs to find a way to both draw the cards it needs and get them into the graveyard, as Null Rod is shutting off a lot of the mana. Of course, he can land Jace next turn in decent shape. I guess Randy's going to be able to start playing his spells, which is pretty useful in most matchups.
Yeah, I should have played Dredge.
There's the Night's Whisper. Basically Sign in Blood, but castable.
Okay, I did find a copy of this deck now in one of them. One Fire and Ice, right? Well, 4 Nights. This is kind of bizarre. 2 Notion Thief main. Jeez.
Yeah, that's changed in and out depending on timing, but yeah. Like the deck also, in a lot of iterations, has multiple copies of Flame Tongue Cavu in the sideboard.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
This one I'm looking at does not, but
if you keep looking at lists, you'll definitely find several that have multiple copies of Flame Tongue Cavu, which I believe is a sideboard card against something like Trigon Predator. Also pretty strong against stacks decks if you can actually get the mana to cast it.
Right. The fact that Lodestone doesn't slow it down is nice, but it's still going to be pretty hard to resolve, I imagine.
More artifacts with no abilities on the 2-turn clock. I guess all these Night's Whispers, he's got a full hand now. Probably can do something, take this.
All let's do is find like a Steel Sabotage, or maybe their Academy's still relevant here. Looks like he hasn't typically been playing a Steel Sabotage in his list, but who knows about today.
Yeah. Or number 3. Watch Randy just make a welder to try to counter other. That would be gas.
Shay also has an Electrolyze in most of his lists. That's
Really, I haven't seen much of that one.
that does not make a lot of sense to me.
I think he just experiments with some various one-ofs here and there.
Sure,
I see a lot of changing, a few cards here and there. Notion Thieves in and out, Mirror Battlesphere in and out.
Still, Fire and Ice and Electrolyze both seem like a lot worse than Lightning Bolt to me. I feel like just the mana efficiency is so important in this format because the decks you bought those cards against are decks that have a bunch of mana denial.
Yeah, I mean, Lightning Bolt is a lot better than Fire and Ice. The one advantage Fire and Ice has is that it can be Merchant Scrolled for.
Sure.
All right, well, expect to see something happen. Your Battlesphere really not doing anything now with Island Walk actually on.
Yeah, you wonder what can you go get here than usually. I'm going to look at his lists from previous events and see what could he be tutoring for.
Could be some kind of Wrath effect, like whatever can deal damage to creatures. Don't know if he has those.
Maybe just a Pyroblast.
He doesn't quite have enough mana unless, depending on his hand, he could have enough mana to get Mindslaver, but it does seem unlikely.
He was Mystical
Nope.
Tutoring. He couldn't get Manslaver. Yeah, he's got Pyroblast. That's what I.
I was saying to get Tinker to get Mindslaver.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, he's a little short of being able to actually do that.
In this spot, like, Mindslaver is likely to just be a time walk, right, on this board. Plus, he can't even activate the Mindslaver. It's Null Rod.
Right. Yeah.
So Mindslaver doesn't even do anything.
That is factual. All right,
So
he can bounce the Phantom.
Ooh, I don't like
the other one.
I do not like that Brainstorm. Neither one's a Phantom, though. They're both real. But I think you want to Pyroblast first, just in case. What if he has Daze?
I missed the image getting force willed. Okay, yeah. They're both real.
If he just has Daze here now, you just killed yourself by not Pyroblasting first.
That's true.
Okay, well, did not get punished for it.
I don't actually think Daze is a common card for Wolf to play, and if they do, it's generally like a one of, but
Sure, but I mean, he could just have, Minimus that does the same thing, right?
Obviously,
Yeah.
that's sequencing, but Photogenic growth. Right, so Randy choosing to attack the Jace instead of Shay when he's at 5 life, so probably going to be an interesting choice one way or another. Randy still has 4 cards in hand. Should be able to cast most cards in his deck, but
Yeah, I would think.
Couldn't really have had, he couldn't have really had mental misstep because he would counter Pyroblast. He couldn't have Force of Will or counter Pyroblast unless he had no blue cards. Could have more Null Rods, his own artifacts. Hawk, Sapphire, Black Lotus. And, I mean, he could have 3 drops. He could be playing Mirror Reachery or True Name Nemesis actually is pretty good in this matchup against a bunch of Bolts and Jaces, so all of these are possibilities.
It's having a lot of mana here. Yep, and it's back. That resolves. Even if it doesn't, I guess we have the Welder going. That should be game.
Yeah, if it does resolve or doesn't resolve, it's probably game.
Yep. So we see Rich Shay here advancing to 1-0. End of turn, I assume you swap. It makes there's really no reason to do it. I'm just be winning more.
Randy could be full of Hercules recalls. Not possible.
That is true. Doesn't do a whole lot since he can just replay all his artifacts and recast the thing.
Of course, but I mean, if he's Hercules recall flooded and he gets to kill Jace, he has to spend his turn replaying Battlesphere. Then he can just kill him by playing out. If he went Hercules recall, bounce everything, attack Jace, Jace dies, say go, he replays Battlesphere, and then Randy plays Lord, attack you for 3. He's in real good shape.
I agree. Oh, that's true.
Game almost every time.
It's hard to imagine what's in Randy's hand here. I mean, 5 cards, passes 2 land, didn't play another land.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just a bunch of 3 drops. I don't really know. He could have Dismember that he's sitting on. Dismember is pretty reasonable.
I think if you Dismember, though, you need to get that. I guess you can just wait on getting out the Welder. Or if your mana tight, so you only have 2 mana, and if you draw Hercules Recall, you can't recall because he still has Welder going, potentially.
Well, there's a reasonable chance he doesn't have any Hercules Recalls in his list at all.
Sure.
And if he does have Hercules Recall, there's a reasonable chance he has exactly 1. Also, it's extremely expensive on Modo. So, these are real possibilities that, the deck often plays 0 to 1, and he's pretty likely to have 0. I don't know whether Dismember's in his deck or whether he voids it in this matchup. Obviously, killing Welder.
So there's drew the misstep this turn most likely since he didn't have the Pyroblast 2 turns ago. Oh man, and the lethal time walk. Can't imagine Randy's Force of Wills and see let Power Blast resolve.
And let Battlesphere
Yep.
resolve.
Yep.
Didn't really matter. That Battlesphere was game either way. All right, and Rich Shea is going to take this match. I don't think it's a good matchup for him, but yeah, Mirror Battlesphere was sick. Did work.
I get to play him next week, so we'll see. Matchup looks great. Hopefully, I can actually get a W. Now you get to find out what you're playing.
Finally.
The exciting conclusion to the night. Any predictions for your matchup with Raptor?
Yeah, I think I'll get double mana screwed.
Okay, there we have it. We have Evor's own prediction on his matchup upcoming against the one and only Josh Layton.
Pulls around him, win easily. No, I mean I have no idea. I literally have no idea what Raptor could be playing. I have
What's your guess?
no idea what I'm playing, to be completely honest.
What's your guess on what Raptor's playing?
Like when Randy asked me, I said I expect the unexpected because Raptor is definitely a brewer at heart. You can do some crazy things in this format, so I didn't expect to see necessarily something on the radar. But
I'll cough once if you're right, twice if you're wrong. What deck is Iggy's playing?
like I said, I think it's just a Raptor brew. I don't think it's a deck. I can't give a name. All right, sold. He's probably playing Merfolk.
That was a real cough. That was not a signal. That was an honest cough.
No takebacks.
All right, no takebacks. Raptor,
Merfolk. It's just clear you're a liar.
I think we have a commercial. We're missing this quality TV.
All right. Well, yeah, I have to sign out so that I can start.
Yep. Good lucky, bro.
All right, thanks.